Hey, Russell here from Adelaide West Physio and Pilates and Adelaide West Headache Clinic. I find myself talking a lot about posture from the point of view of people that suffer from headaches and migraines. And there's some conflicting thoughts about how important posture is or isn't for various problems, but I've found through my own experience it's often quite important with headache and migraine problems. And what's interesting about it is often looking at the position that the head rests on top of the neck, and typically with the way that we live our lives and what we do and working at computers and using phones, if anything, the head tends to drift forwards of what we'd consider to be the ideal position. So that has implications on the structures of the neck, and conversely, often you find that when you start to make changes to that and you exercise into the opposite direction, that things can improve. And so the conversation that I end up having with a lot of people is ways to make it easier to sit with their head in a better position in alignment with the rest of their body. And the interesting thing about it is you don't actually start from thinking about head position, you start from thinking about pelvis position, and I'll show you why. So if I'm sitting in my chair there like that, and my pelvis is, and my butt's forward a little bit from the edge of the chair, it's really easy for my head to sit forward, really easy. Like I could probably take it a bit further forward if I wanted to, but it's actually really hard to take my head in the other direction. And yeah, if I then tilt my pelvis more towards sitting on my sit bones. So if you know the concept of sit bones, are the two bones in your bum that you're actually meant to sit on when you sit. And so if I sit like that, then all of a sudden it's quite easy to go back that way, and it's more of an effort to go forwards. And more importantly, and you can probably see from side on, if I'm sitting like that versus sitting like this, things naturally fall into a better position. It doesn't take any particular work on my head and neck position to improve it. All I'm doing is I'm changing what's happening down here. And so that's often the first conversation I'll have with someone is, okay, the best thing you can do, doesn't matter what chair you're in, is the best thing you can do is make sure that your butt is all the way back. And if you do that, then straight away the back of the chair is going to be working in your favour, and it makes it a lot easier without having to think too hard about what you're doing. It makes it a lot easier to be in a good position. Now, conversely, if you let your bum slide forward a little bit, then it allows you to start to drift into that forward head position. So the first thing that I would suggest to anyone that's a headache sufferer or a migraine sufferer, or even if you're not, but you do a lot of work at a desk or a lot of static work, is think about where you start off. When you sit down, get your butt right into the back of the chair, and the same thing in the car as well. Because even if you've got the best chair, the most expensive chair designed in a European country or whatever, it doesn't really matter if you're sitting with your bum forward. So your butt's got to be right to the back corner of the seat. And there are other devices that you can use to make it easier to sit in that position too, which is what I'll talk about in the next video.